Tick. Do you hear that? It's the clock, reminding us that we don't have much time left. There are only 31 days left in the year. So what does this mean? We have to make the most of the time we do have left by doing the things that matter the most, such as tuning into your favorite television program, Jamaica Magazine. Hey there, I'm Audrey, and I'll be the host for this, our final November program. Stay with me.
Hear this, youth, older people, mature people, anyone who is listening right now, don't wait for extraordinary moments. Seize small opportunities and make them great. I've learned that through this experience. So if you have an idea, there's something that you want to do and you have not sought out an avenue, trust me, the time is now. Get it done.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 30. Jamaica and Argentina have signed a sport cooperation agreement. It was signed on Thursday by the two countries' foreign affairs ministers. Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith and Prime Minister Andrew Holness are currently in Argentina for the G20 summit. Mr. Holness, who is chairman of the Caribbean Community, will address the summit Saturday on issues related to climate change. The Prime Minister will then head to Trinidad and Tobago for a meeting on the CARICOM single market and economy. He returns to Jamaica on December 5. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, has commenced a dead elector removal exercise. It seeks to clear the national voters list of persons who have died since 1998. Generally, the ECJ removes the names of deceased electors from the voters list based on information provided by political parties, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, returning officers, and constituency staff. The Commission also receives a quarterly list from the Registrar General's Department, RGD.
Our objective under this exercise is to identify and confirm or remove at least in excess of 260,000 electors based on our estimation who have died over the years.
The Director of Elections was speaking at Wednesday's JIS think tank. Verifiers from the Electoral Office of Jamaica will visit almost 300,000 homes of electors 40 years and older to confirm their status on the voters list. Meanwhile, the ECJ will engage public and private stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health, to share their death records with the EOJ. Government will be reviewing the building fees charged by municipal authorities. This is to create a standardized system to ensure fees for development projects are in keeping with current realities. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie made the announcement to a gathering of mayors and municipal corporation officers on Tuesday. Developers have raised concerns regarding dissimilar fees charged by various local authorities.
In 9 out of 10 cases, the fees that we charge are considered outdated. So one of the handicaps surrounding the performance of the MCs is lack of adequate funding. It is important, therefore, that we all understand and appreciate that the fees that we charge are critical to our survival.
He says parishes with high potential for infrastructural investment will not be classified to charge the same amount for building fees as those parishes with lower prospects. A series of discussions will continue between Minister McKenzie and the local authorities to develop a feasible fee restructure. Government has allocated $15 million to help expand the Montego Bay High School for Girls in St. James. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid made the announcement at the institution's recent annual prize-giving and dedication ceremony for a new classroom block. The allocation will be used to purchase land to facilitate the school's expansion in 2019.
You wanted money for land, and I said, yes, you're going to get your $15 million. You got your $15 million.
Several students were awarded for outstanding academic and extracurricular performances during the 2017-2018 academic year. Minister Reid commended them for their outstanding performance despite the infrastructural conditions and constraints. Government will be strengthening the parenting arm of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, by bringing on board the National Parenting Support Commission. The news was revealed by the State Minister for Youth, Floyd Green, recently.
So we want to form what we will call a super child protection agency that not only looks at intervening when a child has been abused, but proactively looks at parenting sessions, parenting mentors, working with our parents to reduce the amount of abuse.
Minister Green was speaking at the CPFSA's 12th annual Candlelight Vigil and Concert held in Emancipation Park. It was staged under the theme, Every Child Deserves Protection, in commemoration of World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse. And finally, the Agriculture Ministry has assured the public that there is no E. coli contaminant reported on lettuce produced locally in Jamaica. Earlier this week, the ministry's Plant Quarantine Produce Inspection Division placed a temporary suspension on the importation of romaine lettuce to Jamaica. This was due to an E. coli outbreak in the U.S. linked to lettuce produced in several American states. In a subsequent news release, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority is stressing that there are no reports of local E. coli contamination. It seeks to quell the fears of supermarket and hotel operators who have been fearful of buying the produce from local growers. The Agriculture Ministry is also stressing that there is sufficient supply of lettuce to meet demands of the market and the upcoming festive season. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Good day, ladies. We're going into communities to identify persons on the voters list over 40 years old who have died, so the EOJ can update their voters list.
Oh, Derek can't come off of the list now, and last year I'm dead.
Exactly.
From November 2018, the EOJ will be conducting a special exercise to remove the names of voters that have passed away from the voters list. You can help. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
Did you know that the Ministry of Finance offers several international scholarships to Jamaican citizens on an annual basis? Yes, they do. And the lucky recipients who receive these international scholarships are required to serve a bond of 5 years upon returning to the island. For more details, watch this.
Hello and welcome to Finance Matters, a production of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. I'm your host, Daniel Pasley, and today we'll be focusing on the bonding policy within the scholarships unit, and it is an integral part of the offerings that are provided by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. And here to speak to us about some of the aspects of the bonding policy is Miss Danielle Hall, and she is with the Scholarships and Assistance Unit at the Ministry. Thank you so much for coming once again on our program.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Danielle.
Now, when we talk about the bonding policy, let's break it down for us. What does that mean?
Okay, the bonding policy is an aspect that is tied in with the scholarship itself. When citizens receive scholarships through the donor agencies and countries, the government of Jamaica is partnered with the countries. So they make an investment in our citizens to study abroad or locally. The bonding policy really is for citizens to return to Jamaica or remain in Jamaica to do a service period. And by this we mean they're required to serve a bond of 5 years. When they go and study, say a student goes and study entrepreneurship in, give me a country, Daniel.
Cuba.
In Cuba, right. So when they go to Cuba and they come back to Jamaica and they start their own business, they would have garnered skills from the Cuban institution, tying in with their Jamaican knowledge, and they have their business and they would have employed other persons, other Jamaican citizens, that is. And now we're seeing the skill set being displayed here in the country. So that really is what the bonding policy is. But the bonding policy, I must tell you, Daniel, means that you must serve within the public sector. So you're serving the government of Jamaica.
And as it relates to the application process, how can persons access more information? And is it a case where they can do it online, or do they need to come to the office?
No, we have a simple 6-step process for the scholarship. And I think we break it down like that to make sure everyone is clear as to what it is that they should do when they're applying.
So
and the first step is to visit the ministry's website, and that is www.mof.gov.jm/scholarships. And on our website, you will find the available scholarships. Now, persons tend to call in and say that they're not seeing a particular scholarship. Now, that is because only the scholarship being advertised at a particular time is shown on the website. So Cuban scholarship will only be advertised between February and March.
Okay.
Or if it is that we get it March to April. Once the deadline has passed and the scholarship is closed, the ministry takes it down. And I think that's quite efficient. We don't want to advertise something that we don't have. And that's the first step. Also, that scholarship is advertised in the print media as well as our social media pages at MOF Jamaica for Twitter and MOF Jamaica for Facebook. So we know that most of our students, especially in the age range of 18 and 25, they're very much into social media. So we want them to use some of their time to help themselves.
Of course.
Right, so that's the first step. Second step is really to complete the application form in its entirety. Third step, submit it to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Now, when we say complete it, we mean that they should fill out all the requirements, and they also should submit the documents that are required. Each scholarship gives them a criteria of what they need, and they should ensure that all these documents are within the package. The fourth step is for us to shortlist the applicants, and then we contact them via email. During this period, we ask that all our applicants prepare themselves for the interview. Telling yourself that you already got the scholarship.
So you have to sell yourself and say why you need this scholarship.
Why you need this scholarship.
And the 5th and the 6th?
Well, the 5th and the 6th is still about the interview, preparing yourself for the interview, and after which, about 2 weeks later, you would hear if you were an awardee of the scholarship. And last but not least, the final step is to come to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to sign that bonding agreement.
All right, sign that bonding and try your best to access some of these scholarship opportunities provided by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Thank you, Daniel Hall, for coming on the program and sharing a wealth of information about these scholarships. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
It was my pleasure too.
And thank you so much for watching Finance Matters. I'm Daniel Pasley.
We really want all of you to start thinking about how are you going to level up this November. And level up for us starts with self. So it's really a call to action for you to look in yourself and to see what can you do better, what more can you give, what more do you want to be. So we want all of you to use Youth Month to recommit, to do more, to do better, to go harder. But not just for self, but for communities. Because we believe that young people can change communities. But more than that, level up in your own lives so that we can level up Jamaica. Level up, level up, level up.
Entrepreneurship is a big thing in Jamaica. More and more Jamaicans, young and old, are realizing the need to become their own bosses and are taking up the bold challenge to do so. Junior Achievement Jamaica is helping. Here's how.
One day in February 2018, thousands of students from 50 schools all across Jamaica showcased their companies. Hundreds of companies birthed, developed and managed by grade 9 students. The products and services they displayed were of their own creation and were for sale. An exercise to highlight their business idea, as they are 6 weeks into a real-life, real-time in-class training in entrepreneurship through a program called JACE, Junior Achievement Company of Entrepreneurs, spearheaded by Junior Achievement Jamaica. The occasion was the National Careers Week and Skills Competition.
One of the things that Jamaica has proven itself to have is very, very innovative young men, young women who are entrepreneurial, who are competitive. What we are trying to do through JACE and JACE Seed as an expansion of it through all the schools in Jamaica is to try and tap into that entrepreneurial spirit.
JACE Seed is designed to give secondary and out-of-school youth hands-on experiences in business management and operations. The program focuses on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness, and is geared to help improve the skill level of youth as they inevitably move into the workplace. USAID provides funding support to all high schools the first 3 years of JSEED, which will help fast-track the program's reach and impact at the grade 9 level by the year 2020.
It's a very interactive program, so when our students are learning, it's best for them to learn by doing.
We do this in business basics class. It's different because of all the excitement, all the creativity that is unlocked in the kids, how interested they are every class, how excited they are to show me improvements they've made on their products. So each week it gets better and it gets better, and they're just excited to show me what they're working on.
So they're actually going to run a business. The students have to come together as a team of about 20 students each. So if you have a large class, you may have 2 companies. And across the grade 9, we've seen schools that have 16 companies. It used to be an after-school activity. No credits given, but students used to love it. And so now we're introducing it to 40,000 students each year. And so the ministry helps us by opening access, by meeting with their teams to look at the curriculum and seeing how we can enhance it, by supporting their students taking a day from their in-class work to learn real-world work in these types of activities, and it just support us along the way.
The entire world, your economy revolves around businesses, entrepreneurship. And so as we use our education and training system to prepare students for the future cannot be bright or sustainable unless we have new creative minds, ideas that are bankable, new products, whether value added or otherwise, that we can create, that we can monetize, sell to our local population, as well as export to earn foreign exchange so we can sustain our standard of living.
My students are very energized, they are very enthusiastic, very happy.
It is not a chalk and talk. They are able to walk around the classroom, interact with each other.
It's made me realize that being a responsible person isn't very easy, and it makes me appreciate getting just homework more, because it's not as hard as creating a business.
It was very informative and very competitive. It shows me the competitive nature that is in the environment when I go out into the world.
The students are encouraged to solve problems and seek opportunities in the creative, agriculture, technology, and automotive industries. And throughout the 16 weeks, the companies come together over several competitions and are judged as they vie for trophies, medals, and National Company of the Year.
So basically we were looking for creativity, point-blank innovation, students thinking outside of the box. How do they utilize materials around them? Are they solving a problem? Are they creating something that is effective within the society?
As the students go through the JSEED program, they're expected to develop leadership skills, business acumen, and gain local and international exposure. But all this would not be possible without financial support.
Our focus as a financial institution is in fact building through education the skills of young people through helping them understand how to actually build business, how to build sound businesses.
Citi has been a funding partner since inception. JPS has now joined on as a national partner. More partners are needed to mentor students as they transform their future opportunities.
And that's really what we're about. Can we get enough young business people coming out of schools to make sure that Jamaica has a bright future in terms of its economy.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be
protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living.
That is child labor.
It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
As we close out Youth Month 2018, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that you can never truly protect and care for our children and young people unless we put measures in place to ensure their safety in the home, at school, and on the road.
Over the past 5 years, more than 120 children have lost their lives on our nation's road. In addition to this, countless children continue to suffer from injuries that are directly related to traffic crashes within 100 meters of school zones over the past decade.
But steps are being taken right here in Jamaica to change that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. At the Azhar Primary School we go. And using the pedestrian crossing is what we know. It's no show. Walking in a row is a good flow. But using the cell phone on the road is a big no-no. Using the sidewalk is a great start. It will prevent shattered body parts.
Hazard Primary School is the first of 18 schools selected under the X Marks the Spot School Crosswalk campaign. And this is a collaboration with UNICEF Jamaica and FIA Foundation. And we selected Hazard Primary through our Child Road Safety Assessment research and report, which was recently published. And we've identified the vulnerabilities where children who are journeying to and from school face several challenges getting to school.
To reduce the vulnerabilities and the challenges faced by the over 600 students at this Clarendon-based school, a number of infrastructural upgrades were carried out.
The Hazard Primary School was selected for this infrastructural upgrade, which includes a pedestrian crossing, bus lay-by, and the sidewalks to ensure the safety of the children attending this school.
As it is now, they're already practicing, learning to use the walkways and the crossing, and the wardens are there to sort of help them cross the street. And I mean, overall, it's going to ensure that the children are a little bit safer.
When the cars are bringing the students to school, they normally come over on the sidewalk where we are supposed to walk. So now we have the sidewalk that we can walk on, that they cannot come over on the sidewalk and kind of hurt us or anything.
And that's not all. The school will get a facelift with beautiful artistic designs done by student volunteers from the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts.
We approached Edna Manley because we wanted to bring a little excitement to the project, so we thought art is a good way to spread messages. It translates well on social media because it gives us good visuals. We didn't want to take stock images, we wanted young people's ideas, and so we approached the school and they said sure they would be interested, and so they came up with these designs. These are their designs and the designs that will go on the sidewalk leading to the crosswalk. So they were interested, they came up with their designs and they're here painting away, and they will be working with us on all of the schools as we go forward.
To conclude phase 1 of the project, 2 other schools will receive similar road infrastructural improvements, and before you know it, it will be time for phase 2.
Over the next 3 years, we will be carrying out this work in 15 other schools on a phase 2 of X Marks the Spot.
The projects cost approximately $1 million and was made possible by a number of sponsors.
I just want to say thanks to Jane Foundation and UNICEF for their effort and the support and seeing the importance of having this crossing section at the school gate that I know will benefit the students tremendously.
When parents are assured that their children will get to school safely, they will be more contented and the children themselves will be happier knowing that they'll be safe.
Dear Mr. Jesus, I don't understand why they took her mom and dad away. I know that they don't mean to hit with wild and angry hands. Tell them just how big they are, I pray. Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep them safe and warm?
As duty bearers, we must create an optimal experience of childhood, an environment that builds resilience and conditions that nurture a positive future for each child. Whilst most children have the full range of human rights, we are aware that there are significant groups of vulnerable children and young people for whom adequate human rights protections remains a difficult challenge. Together, we can strive for Vision 2030 Jamaica, one where every child has a healthy and safe childhood, the opportunity to learn and a voice to speak for themselves.
Think about the children where they lay their heads at night. Think about the children, all the future's bright. They're tomorrow's leaders. By now you should have known. They will never reap the thing you see, but never sow. The children are crying. Who's gonna save them? Tell me what you're gonna do.
And just like that, we have arrived at the end of today's program. Thanks for staying with us. If you enjoyed today's show and want to watch it all over again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube page. You may visit us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to learn more about our rich cultural heritage. I'm Audrey, reminding you that children do learn what they live, then they grow up to live what they've learned. Have a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.